In the opening scene, numerous tourists are seen arriving at Thailand's airport to visit Pattaya City. Among them, we are introduced to a big man named Barney Emerald, who appears to be drunk and disoriented. He is half naked and is waiting outside the police station at the airport. At this moment, he remembers the previous night, where he was at a bar. A Thai woman approached Barney and compelled him to consume excessive amounts of alcohol. Once he was drunk, an unknown guy, presumably an accomplice of the woman, transported him to a van and robbed him before abandoning him partially unclothed on the streets. At present, Barney is playing with a young girl while awaiting his turn to speak with a police officer. When his turn finally comes, he explains everything that happened last night and seeks assistance in apprehending the woman. In response, the police officer, Pong, mentions that they have already started an investigation into the matter, but it may take several days. This causes concern for Barney, as he lacks money and has nowhere to go. Moreover, his passports and other documents were all stolen by the thieves. Hearing all this, Pong provides him with a letter and 50 baht in cash for bus fare, advising him to contact the Tourist Information Center. Barney expresses his gratitude for the generous act and departs after waving goodbye to his young friend. Following this, he takes a scooter ride and heads towards the tourist center, only to learn that it's closed for renovation. Now, with no money and nowhere to stay, Barney wanders through the streets for a while before finding a spot to rest on the pathway. Shortly after, a girl named Katten suddenly comes running towards him. She appears to be chased by some bad guys. However, Barney pays little attention to this, as he is already dealing with his own troubles. The bad guys soon approach him and inquire if he has seen the girl, but Barney, who is unable to understand their language, simply tells him, "I don't know." This annoys the guys, and they decide to leave without causing any trouble. Meanwhile, as Barney leans against a food menu board behind him, he is startled by the girl's scream. This alerts the villains as well, and they return to capture the girl. Barney also gets up to avoid the commotion, but seeing his tall and imposing physique, the gangsters get scared. They believe that Barney's about to defend the girl, so they arm themselves to confront him. But right then, a tuk-tuk passes by with a loud noise, which surprisingly frightens Barney. As he cowers in fear, the gangsters laugh at him, realizing that he is weak. They then launch an attack on Katten, but she swiftly hides beneath Barney, who takes the blows intended for her. Just when it seems that the two are going to get battered, Katten's sister Dokia arrives at the scene. Dokia appears to be a professional Muy Thai fighter, and using her deadly moves, she easily defeats the bad guys. Ultimately, the girls utilize Barney to trap the gangsters before making their escape. Completely bewildered by the events that unfolded, Barney repeatedly apologizes to the guys, claiming that he never intended to harm them. Later on, Dokia inquires with Katten about why the men were pursuing her. The latter places the blame on Barney, but it is eventually revealed that she had pickpocketed one of the gangsters. Afterward, while on their way back home, the two sisters unexpectedly encounter Barney, who returns some of the accessories Katten had left behind. Witnessing his generosity, the girls decide to bring Barney along to their monastery and offer him a place to spend the night. Upon arrival, they introduce Barney to a senior monk, who grants him permission to stay there until he finds his passport. The monk also instructs Katten to find some suitable clothing for the half-naked giant. Barney then shares sleeping quarters with other children in the monastery, but he ends up disturbing them with his loud snores. On the other hand, we see two foreigners named Adam and Smith meeting a local Thai businessman named Narong. The foreigners reveal a special laptop device to him, featuring a concealed compartment that can only be unlocked using a diamond-like crystal key. Elsewhere, a valuable camellia diamond set is being transported to a highly secure safe. It is then revealed that the set was brought to Thailand for the World Jewelry Fair. The following morning, the children wake Barney up, and he proceeds to accompany the monks around town, assisting them with their rituals. Throughout the day, Barney engages in various activities with the children, including communal meals and helping with monastery chores. In the afternoon, Katten and Dokia bring him to their mother's small restaurant at the beach. The woman is taken aback by Barney's giant physique, but nonetheless, she welcomes him warmly. They offer him a taste of famous local cuisine, a dish called somtum. However, upon taking his first bite, the intense spiciness of the dish causes Barney to turn red and uncontrollable. He morphs into a Hulk-like beast and desperately searches for water. Unfortunately, in the process, he accidentally wreaks havoc in the restaurant and even strikes their mother. Jeez, I'm starting a petition to get Barney on Hot Ones. After Barney finally calms down, he expresses remorse for his actions, explaining that he had lost control over his body. He promises to do whatever whatever he can to earn money and help rebuild the damaged restaurant. This strikes Katin's mind, and she comes up with an idea to train him for a fight club. She shares this concept with Dokia, who agrees to take on the task of training him. Thus, Barney's rigorous training commences from that day forth. Dokia teaches Muy Thai techniques to him and even arranges for him to spar with a young boy. But despite Barney's big body, he is easily beaten up by the boy. Amidst these training sessions, Barney also opens up about his unfortunate past. He reveals that he had won a trip to Pattaya through a lucky draw, which brought him to Thailand, only to be robbed on his very first day. In the meantime, a television news broadcast reports on the theft of the Camellia diamond set. It is later revealed that Narong, Adam, and Smith are the ones behind the heist. They conceal the stolen diamonds within their specialized laptop and discuss the next phase of their plan, which involves delivering the package to Brunei in order to receive payment. However, since they have a few more days remaining in Thailand, they decide to enjoy every moment of their time there. In the following scene, Katin and Barney are walking together when the latter notices the bar girl who had previously robbed him. Alarmed, he chases after her with Katin following closely behind. Coincidentally, Officer Pong observes the pursuit and begins following them as well. After a while, Barney arrives at the girl's hideout and discovers a collection of stolen passports. Not wanting any trouble, he simply requests for his own passport, but the robbers start attacking him. Fortunately, Pong arrives in the nick of time and beats up the criminals one by one. As he takes them into custody, Katin manages to find Barney's passport, but she secretly hides it in her bag. Later that evening, the sisters are concerned about how they can earn money to support their mother. As their conversation unfolds, they devise a plan, and Katin approaches their mother, asking for permission for Dokia to participate in a Muy Thai dancing contest. However, their true intention is for Dokia to engage in a boxing match and earn money. Believing it to be a harmless dancing contest, their mother grants them consent to proceed. The next day, the two sisters, accompanied by Barney, visit the fight club and approach the organizer named Yang, requesting a match for Dokia. Coincidentally, Narong and his gang, who are responsible for the stolen diamond set, are also present there. Soon, Dokia's fight is announced, but to her dismay, she is pitted against a male opponent, making their match totally unfair. Nonetheless, Dokia refuses to back down, as she requires the money for her mother's sake. As per the rules, if Dokia emerges victorious, she will win up to 10 times the amount of the bet placed on the match. Soon, the fight begins, and in the initial moments, Dokia showcases her skills, deftly evading her opponent's attacks. However, during the second round, the opponent discreetly hides a blade within his boxing gloves and mercilessly cuts Dokia's face. The injury nearly causes her to lose consciousness, yet she manages to summon the strength to rise once more. Despite the unfair tactics employed by her opponent, the courageous girl continues to fight valiantly, eventually knocking him to the ground. Witnessing this, Yang quickly signals the referee to ring the bell, concluding the match in a draw. After the fight, the trio approaches Yang to collect Dokia's prize money, but to their dismay, they are only handed a mere 1,000 bahts. Upon requesting a larger sum, Yang summons his men and beats them up. Elsewhere, at the hotel room, the diamond thieves find themselves in a state of panic as they realize that they've lost the crystal key. Narong suggests forcefully opening the laptop, but Smith cautions against it, fearing that such an act could potentially damage its contents. In an attempt to locate the missing key, they review the CCTV footage, specifically focusing on the fight club. To their astonishment, they spot Katin stealing the key when they were distracted. Now, with time running out, the robbers hire a bald guy and offer him 100 grand to apprehend Katin. In the next scene, we see Barney, who now works in the fish market. He utilizes his earnings to purchase construction materials in order to rebuild the restaurant that he had accidentally destroyed earlier. A few days later, they construct a new and improved restaurant, which appears to be more spacious. The family wastes no time and starts their business from the very evening. Barney is assigned the task of grinding food, but due to his strength, he breaks a few mortars. As a result, Katin comes up with the idea of acquiring a large mortar that will perfectly suit the big guy. As the days pass by, the restaurant begins to gain in popularity, attracting both locals and visitors who wish to try the famous Thai dish, som tam. One evening, Barney, the two sisters, and their mother come together to celebrate Dokia's birthday. As a gift, Katin presents her with a necklace crafted from the same crystal key. Seeing this, Dokia becomes suspicious suspicious and questions whether the necklace was acquired through theft. However, Katten lies that it is a fake item. The following day, Barney and the two sisters are strolling along the streets when a van abruptly blocks their path. A group of men get out from the vehicle and abduct all three of them. After this, they're taken to the diamond robbers, who begin to interrogate them about the whereabouts of the crystal key. Soon enough, Adam discovers the key hanging from Dokia's neck and snatches it away. But in a shocking turn of events, Narong turns against his gang members, pointing a gun at them. He wants to take the reward all for himself. Sensing the betrayal, Adam forcefully makes Dokia scream in agony before dropping the crystal key into her mouth. As the gang members fight amongst themselves, Dokia seizes the opportunity to escape from the scene. In response, Narong orders some of his accomplices to pursue her, while instructing the others to eliminate Barney and Katten. The two are then pinned against a wall, ready to be punished. But right then, Katten notices a plate of som tum nearby. Acting swiftly, she feeds the spicy dish to Barney, causing him to transform into a furious red giant. With his strength, Barney defeats the bad guys easily, before rushing to rescue Dokia. On the way, he runs into three formidable wrestlers who are there to stop him. They start beating him up, and seeing this, Katten decides to prepare another batch of extremely spicy som tum, using some nearby ingredients. As soon as she gets the chance, she feeds it all to Barney, once again triggering his uncontrollable transformation into a destructive giant. And just like before, he overpowers and defeats those wrestlers. Meanwhile, Dokia tries to evade the pursuing gangsters, engaging in fights along the way. However, her efforts prove futile as she is ultimately captured by the bald man, who holds her at gunpoint. Barney sees this from a distance, so he rushes to her rescue. Tragically, he is shot by Norang, causing him to collapse on the ground. As he writhes in pain, Dokia approaches him with tears in her eyes and returns his passport. She apologizes for concealing it from him, saying that she feared he would leave her. Barney is moved by the words, and when he opens the passport, he finds a sketch depicting him with his sisters. Meanwhile, Norang once again reconciles with Adam and Smith, who shoot the bald guy before dragging Dokia to their private jet. Then, the robbers are about to dissect her to take the crystal, while Barney summons his remaining strength and lunges towards the plane. Inside the aircraft, Norang's demeanor suddenly changes, and he again turns against his foreign accomplices, stabbing Adam. But, as a consequence, Adam also manages to shoot him, resulting in the demise of both of them. Barney then confronts Smith in a fierce battle, while Dokia makes her escape from the plane. As Barney defeats his final enemy, he succumbs to his injuries and collapses onto the floor. Witnessing this, the two sisters rush to his side and start crying. In a desperate attempt to revive the man, Katten asks Barney to open his mouth so that she can feed him some som tum. Miraculously, upon hearing her words, the giant man regains consciousness and runs away, saying he will never consume the dish again. The movie ends as we learn that Barney has returned to his native country. He has also brought Katten along with him for a short holiday trip. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.